Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to multiply a whole number by a mixed number using the distributive property. You guys, we're also going to be still using that tape diagram strategy, but our focus for today is the distributive property. Remember, the distributive property means that we're going to be decomposing part of our number or part of a number in order to multiply a little bit easier. So in this first problem, I have 5 times 8 2/5. Let's go ahead and use the tape diagram strategy to quickly find our answer. Remember, our whole number represents the number of copies. So I have 5 copies of 8 2/5. So that means I'm going to be drawing 5 tape diagrams. And I'm going to be decomposing each copy into my whole number and my fraction. Remember, we're not decomposing our whole numbers. Our whole numbers stay the same. But what about 2/5? Can I decompose 2/5? If you said yes, you're absolutely correct. What would I decompose 2/5 into? That's right, 1/5 plus 1/5. Let's do the same thing all the way down for each copy of 8 2/5. All right, you guys, so now I have 5 copies of 8 2/5. What do I do next? You read my mind. I have to add them together. But how am I going to add them together? What am I going to be combining? That's right, I'm combining like units. So I'm combining all of my whole numbers and then all of my fractions. You guys are so good at this. What do we get as a sum when we combine all of our whole numbers? Awesome job. And what do we get as a sum when we combine all of our fractions? Good thinking. Am I done, you guys? Yeah, I know. I have to decompose this further. I'm going to ask myself, how many wholes can I pull out of 10/5? No way. I got the same answer. I can only pull out 2 wholes. So I know, you guys, that 40 and 10/5 is the same thing as just saying 40 plus 2. So the product of 5 and 8 2/5 is 42. Let's do the same problem using the distributive property. Remember, our product is 42. Let's see if we get the same answer. 5 times 8 2/5. This time we're going to use the distributive property to solve. I know that the distributive property says that I can decompose one of my numbers in order to make my job a little bit easier. Which one of these numbers would be the smartest to decompose? I agree. 8 2/5 is the smartest option here, because I know that 8 2/5 is a mixed number, so I can decompose that mixed number into a whole number and a fraction. So I have 5 times 8 2/5. I'm now able to multiply my whole number by my other whole number and my whole number by my fraction. So you guys, that means I'm multiplying 5 times 8 and then 5 times 2/5. 5 times 8, and then whatever I get there, I'm adding it to 5 times 2/5. Now let's focus on my first partial product, or my first set of parentheses. 5 times 8. What do we get as a product when we multiply 5 and 8? Awesome thinking. 40. Now let's focus on our second partial product, or our second set of parentheses. 5 times 2/5. What do we get here? What's 5 times 2/5? Awesome thinking, 10/5. You guys are awesome at this review. I know that in order for me to multiply 5 times 2/5, I'm going to be multiplying that whole number by 2. So 5 times 2 is 10, and I still have fifths. So everything is over 5. So now I'm going to add even further, 40 plus 10/5. Before I do that, you guys, can I rename 10/5 as something a little bit nicer to look at? That's right, 10/5 equals 2 wholes, because 2 times 5 equals 10. Now I can add 40 plus 2. 42. In both of our problems, we got the same answer. Let's do another problem using these two strategies yet again. 4 times 9 3/4. We're always going to start with our tape diagram. My whole number representing the number of copies. How many copies of 9 3/4 am I going to be making? That's right, 4 copies of 9 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 3/4 is going to be represented by 9 wholes. But what about 3/4? How am I going to decompose 3/4? That's right. 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. And if it helps, don't forget to go back in and make sure that your whole number is a different color. You guys, we already know what we're doing next. We're combining like terms. Let's see if you can beat me. Go. Awesome work, you guys. 36 12/4. How am I going to decompose 12/4? Did you get 3 wholes? Awesome thinking. So that means 36 12/4 is the same thing as saying 36 plus 3. So what's my product? Awesome, guys, 39. So our product of 4 times 9 3/4 is 39. Don't forget that. Our product is 39. Let's use the distributive property to solve the same problem. 4 times 9 3/4. Remember, the distributive property means I'm decomposing one of my numbers. Can you remember which one of these numbers I'm going to decompose? Awesome thinking, guys. That's right, I'm decomposing my mixed number because my mixed number has a whole number and it has a fraction. So let's go ahead and rewrite our equation showing the decomposition of my mixed number. Four times 9 3/4. You guys, I know that with the distributive property, I can now multiply each part of my mixed number by 4. So guys, what's going to be my first multiplication equation for my first set of parentheses? What would I be multiplying together? Awesome thinking, guys. 4 times 9. Now what about my second set? Awesome job. 4 times 3/4. Go ahead and solve for your first set of parentheses. Go ahead and solve. 4 times 9. What do we get in our first set of parentheses? Awesome. Quick math, guys. Good job. 36. Now, what about my second set of parentheses, my second partial product? 4 times 3/4. What do we get here? Awesome thinking. 12/4. We already know we need to combine 36 and 12/4. But let's go ahead and make 12/4 look a little bit nicer. Can you turn 12/4 into a whole number? If so, what do you get? Awesome. You should have gotten 3 wholes. Now I can add 36 plus 3. What'd you get? Wow. Awesome thinking, you guys. I got 39 too. In both of our equations, we had 39 as the product. In today's lesson, we learned how to use the distributive property in addition to the area model strategy in order to multiply a whole number by a fraction. Go ahead and comment below in the video which strategy is your favorite. See you guys in the next video.